Hey guys, Ike here from Mike'sOutdoors.com. Today we're going to be doing a broadhead test on the Grim Reaper Broadheads. We've got the Grim Reaper Broadhead here. This is the expandable broadhead. Let me see here. This is the Razortip. This is the 100 grain Razortip. I haven't shot this head yet, but just the overall design on this head, I'm very, very impressed with this thing. It's got a good trochor tip on it. It's got 3 really small, what I'd call bleeder blades on there as well. It's got a good, solid looking design on it. The ferrule looks like it's well made. The blades look like they're fairly thick. For an expandable, they look like they're good. It's got a really nice cutting diameter on it. And I was reading the instructions on this. I got it all set up, and when you click this thing, you can feel it. It clicks closed really nice. So I don't think there's going to be a problem as far as it opening up in flight. So, and when I was reading the instructions on this, the instructions actually say you can shoot this just like this, or you can also shoot this with the blades already deployed. So we're going to try it out in a couple of different ways. We're going to try out some different tests with this thing. I got a frame that I made that's got some rubber bands stretched across it, so we're going to test that. Shoot it through those rubber bands. I'm going to test penetration on my blob target. You guys don't know familiar with the blob target. They're very, very consistent targets, no weak spots in them. And getting penetration with these things, it's going to be tough. With field points, I average about 4 inches of penetration, so we'll measure what kind of penetration we get with these. And it also, the blob target's going to show, the cutting diameter on this as well. It'll show really well how well it cuts and things like that. We're going to test accuracy, and we're going to test durability. We're going to test these things through some wood and things like that. We're going to run it through some tests and see how well this thing performs and see how well it holds up. First thing we're going to do here is we're going to do a combination of accuracy test and a rubber band test. I've got a small metal frame here with rubber bands stretched all across it with it's 8 inch by 8 inch, and that'll, if I can hit that, the thing's accurate, and we'll see how well it cuts those rubber bands. If it cuts them pretty good, then we'll know it's sharp. The bow I'm going to be using is this bow right here. This is my High Country Iron Mace. This is my Speed Pro, my White Ninja. It's set at 60 pounds and a 27-inch draw. So this is not some, it is a speed bow, but it's not something that's set up for speed. This thing's just set up for me, and it gets moderate speeds, about 280 feet per second. So pretty good speeds, but nothing up there shooting at 320s and something like that. So we're going to be testing this out with a Victory V-Force arrow, and we'll see how well this thing performs. So let's start doing our test. Looks like it's doing pretty well on the sharpness test. Next thing we got here is we're going to try out some leather. I'm going to put a couple pieces of this up here and shoot through that and see how well it cuts through there, and see if it makes sure it opens up when it goes through there. Okay, I've got 4 pieces of leather here. Just doubled up. Hopefully I'll hit all 4 of them. Try to get them all lined up. I can hit all 4 of them without hitting the steel. And I'm leaving it loose like this because I don't want it tight. That way the arrow can hit it and it can move with it. So we're going to leave it loose like that to see how well it performs. We're going to shoot this with the head closed just to make sure that it actually is going to open up. Okay, you can see there, there's our entry hole, first layer. You can see it opened up fine on impact. Got a pretty small hole, but you can see by the second layer the blades were fully deployed and fully opened up. Our third layer there, you can see it's got a nice cut. And our 4th layer, our final layer, our exit hole, it's got a really nice cut on that. So we got a good cut diameter there. Pretty impressed with it. And we had basically that much leather stacked up. I'd say a good, good 1/4 inch of leather probably, if not more. And I had that loose. You could see when that hit, it just took the whole thing, moved with it. So I was pretty impressed with that. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to move this blob target over here, and we're going to do some penetration tests on that. This is just going to be a penetration test, shooting into this blob target from 20 yards. I'd say the accuracy's there. I was aiming for here, so not too bad. Check out the cutting diameter too, where that went in. Yeah, it's gonna pull this out. Of course, the blades are gonna close up. That's why a blob target. That's why we use that for a penetration test. As you can see here, got one blade. It's out. The cutting diameter is out there. The other one, the cutting diameter is all the way over here, and then the third one is over here. The head opened up just fine, and got a really good cut and really good penetration on that. We're going to do it again, and this time I'm actually going to use a tape measure to measure it like I should have done that time. I ended a little different spot, and you can see there, good performance again as far as accuracy goes, and good cutting diameter. You can see it's cut all the way up to here, here, down here. Once again, the blade was closed, so it opened up and deployed just fine. Let me actually measure this time. Yeah, blob target, we're getting about 3 1/4 inches of penetration from the tip down to the arrow. Like I said, you guys can see when the arrow hit this thing. If you haven't shot a blob target, this is one of the toughest, most consistent targets that are made. Okay, so far so good. For mechanical head, this thing has performed awesome. I'm very, very impressed with it. It's opened up every time we've shot it. It's made some really good holes in our leather. It's got really good penetration and some really good holes into our blob target. The accuracy is definitely there. This bow is broadhead tuned. This is the bow I hunted with last year, and I haven't done nothing with it since season closed, and it was tuned to a 3-blade fixed blade broadhead. So the bow is broadhead tuned, but no problems at all as far as accuracy goes. No problems at all as far as getting the blades to deploy. It looks like a pretty good tough head. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do some destruction tests on this thing. We're going to see if we can tear it up, and I'm not going to take it and shoot bricks with it and shoot barrels with it. I'm going to shoot some wood with it, try to replicate a bone as close as I can until I can actually get some bone to shoot through. But we're just going to shoot some wood and some different things like that and see how well it holds up to some punishment. Our first punishment test is a piece of 1/4 inch paneling. It's one single piece. Good penetration all the way up to the veins. And the blob target actually stopped it in the back, or it probably would have blew right through there. The head is still in perfect shape. So let's put 2 pieces up there. We're going to move that blob target so it don't stop it again, and we'll see how well it holds up. Penetration is definitely there. Once again, I actually angled over and hit the blob target. Just can't seem to get out of the way of that thing. Penetration there is awesome though. Let's see how good a shape the head's in. You can see there, after going through 2 pieces of 1/4 inch plywood, the head is still in really good shape and still getting really good penetration as well. Let's shoot it again. So we finally did it. We finally broke the blades off of it. Broke all 3 blades. Still make a really good small game head. I might use it for that. Still got this nice, the ferrule's still in really good shape. Still got the bleeder blades on there. Like I said, I might use that thing just for a small game head now. But I'm pretty impressed with it. I want you to see the holes in the plywood that we put in there. Here's the first shot. It'd be the exit hole on the first shot. There's the exit hole in the second shot where it actually broke the blades. The entry hole on the first shot, on the second shot, is right here. You can see the good cutting diameter on that thing. It really tore up some stuff. And then there's the back side of the 2 shots. The second hole looks like it's a lot better, but the first hole's pretty dang good too. So actually, no problems at all with the Grim Reaper heads. Durability's definitely there. I was shooting through a piece of 1/2 inch plywood like that. Doubled up even makes it worse. because there's that space. They can move in between. They can flex. So really impressed with the durability of this head. Alright, so this has been the Grim Reaper Razortip, and I'm very impressed with it. Done a really good job on all of our tests. Sharp right out of the box. Did a really good job cutting the rubber bands, even though I couldn't hit them that well. Accuracy was definitely there. My bow was broadhead tuned, but right out of the package, they hit right where I wanted them to aim, or right where I was aiming. Did a really good job on the leather. Really did a really good job there. Good job on the penetration test on the blob. And one of the things I was most impressed about them, and it's not always true when I test expandable heads, is this head opened up every time on every shot. It opened up, and we had really good success with it on our destruction tests. You know, we shot it through a couple pieces of a 1/4-inch plywood. Shot it through there 3 times before we finally broke the blades there the last time. But it did really good. It shot really good holes in there, really good entry holes, really good exit holes, and just as tough as nails. You know, like I said, I'm shooting about 280 feet per second, and it buried this Victory up to the veins every time in that thing. So that's one of the things I was really impressed with. Not only was it really tough and took 3 shots to destroy it, but it was burying up to the veins on this Victory arrow every time. It's also testing how good these fusion vanes and Victory arrows are to withstand that kind of punishment. If my arrows and vanes can withstand my broadhead tests, then they're doing something pretty good. So, but yeah, that's the Razortip from Grim Reaper. And I'll tell you what, for an expandable head, I'm very impressed with this. I'm not usually a fan of an expandable head. I like the fixed blade, the tough broadheads, you know, the one piece. I'm kind of old school when it comes to broadheads. But this one here has really performed well. It's probably been one of the best, it probably is the best expandable that I've ever tested. So as of today, the Grim Reaper is the best. It's performed better than any other expandable head that I've tested. So very impressed with it. Check this out. This is the Razortip, and you can check this out at GrimReaperBroadheads.com. Fantastic head. Really going to have to give this thing a shot then next year. Try to put something down with it. I think I'm going to try to put some small game down with this head right here now that I've destroyed it. So still good and straight, still going to fly good. I'll be able to take this thing out and shoot some rabbits and stuff like that with it, with my bow, squirrels maybe. So T-Mac, we got us another small game head. So guys, be sure to check this out. GrimReaperBroadheads.com. Definitely has my thumbs up, definitely has my seal of approval. Very impressive for an expandable head, just tough as nails. Flew great, opened every time. That's one of the most impressive things about it, is it opened every time. Awesome penetration, just I can't say enough about it. Very impressive head. Also be watching. T-Mac's going to test this head as well. I got another one of these for him to test, so T-Mac will be testing this out here in a few weeks. So check this out, GrimReaperBroadheads.com. And for T-Mac's video, keep visiting our website, and that's IkesOutdoors.com. Appreciate you guys watching.
I like good times, good wine, good smoke, and a 5-piece bed. And I can't help it, it's just